Hey guys, what is going on? It is RC Knockout and I am back with another video. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, my name is Nolan, and in today's video I want to show you guys the newest addition to my RC collection. Now, I've had an itch to get another Summit for a little while now. So actually back when I bought my Traxxas Max, I was seriously considering buying another Traxxas Summit instead. But I asked you guys if you wanted to see some Traxxas Max content, if I should bring a Traxxas Max to the channel, and it seemed like a lot of people wanted me to, so I decided to wait on the Traxxas Summit and go ahead and buy that Traxxas Max. So I've kind of wanted one for a little while now. As you guys know, if you've been following my channel at all, you know that I already have a Traxxas Summit. So you might be thinking, why would you go buy another Traxxas Summit with all the other RCs out there that you could have bought? And that's a valid point. But ever since I've swapped this one over to brushless, I feel like it's changed. I wouldn't say it's ruined it, but I kind of miss how it was stock. These are completely different machines now. Now that I've swapped this one over to brushless, it doesn't even feel the same as this one. This one I've yet to actually crawl. I've made sure it works and everything because it is used. I bought a used one. I made sure it can crawl and everything works, but as far as I know, this one's stock with the stock electronics. I'm pretty sure it has stock gearing, but these two feel completely different at this point. So this one's definitely much more for crawling. This one, since I swapped over to brushless, is much more for speed. Also, I put a centerless brushless setup in it, which has definitely taken away some of its crawlability. I'm trying to think of how to word this. It doesn't cog a lot, but when there's a lot of tension or if it starts to get bound up, this thing cogs. And the other issue is it can't hold on hills. So when I really try to take this crawling, like in the rocks, this thing struggles. It does not like it. So now that I swapped over to brushless, it definitely lost some of its crawlability, which is why I decided to get this, because I kind of miss that. Like, I still like the way this is going. I like the power it has. I just wish it would hold up to that power. But I also kind of like the thought of one that's bone stock and still use it for crawling, which is why I decided to buy this one. It has some upgrades on it already, as you guys can probably tell. Let me grab the camera, move it a little bit closer, and I'll show you guys exactly what's going on with this machine. Alrighty guys, now taking a closer look at the Summit. The first thing you're probably going to notice is these huge tires. So these right here, I believe, are the RC four-wheel drive 40 series Super Swamper tires. And that's a huge reason why I decided to buy this RC car, because it already had these equipped. Because this is something that I really kind of like the look of these tires. It's also mounted on Axial Yeti XL wheels, I think. They're made for 1A scale. It's a plastic wheel, but it actually does have a metal beadlock on the outside and on the inside of each wheel. But yeah, these are super expensive. So I bought this used. I'll just go ahead and tell you guys how much I bought this for. I bought this RC for $430. Now, when you first hear that, you're probably going to think that's outrageous. Why would you pay that much for a used machine? You can get a brand new Summit for like $470. So for $470, for like $30, $40 more, I could have gotten a brand new one. Which is true. But when you know how much these wheels and tires cost, you might understand why I went ahead and bought this one. So I was looking online. These wheels alone are $40 just for a pair. That's 80 bucks right there just for these wheels. And these tires, I looked them up, they're about $50 for a pair. So we're talking 50, 50, that's $100, 40, 40. That's $180 basically worth of just wheels and tires right here, guys. And they're almost in brand new condition too. They're in very good condition. They don't have any water or anything in them, because that was my biggest concern. I don't want to buy one like if the foams are waterlogged or anything like that. That was a big concern, but it seems like this guy, he had multiple Summits. He actually sent me some pictures of some of the other ones that he had, and he was just trying to thin out his collection a little bit. And I, of course, am building mine up for some reason. I don't need another Summit, but I bought one. But yeah, so it seems like he really took pretty good care of this RC, but it has a newer body on it, because I can tell you this is an older machine. This is older than my Summit. So this is the Summit I have right here, and I believe I bought this one used in 2016. Ah, crap. And one of the biggest differences you're going to notice is in the controllers. So this is one that's from a 2016 model. Now, here's the controller that came with the one I just bought. And I know this is more of the old school controller. So I would guess this is at least a 2014, 2013, or newer, or older, I should say. Because I would guess this is at least a 2013 model, just because it has this older controller. It has all the same stuff. It has the same toggle for the 2-speed. It has your locker right here instead of up here. So it has all the same features. It's just a little bit different. And it is much more difficult to drive this one. Like, I don't know if I can drive this one. Like, I can do this one finger pretty easily. This one, I can't reach my thumb around and barely touch that. So that could be a problem trying to film one-handed. So we're gonna have to see going forward if I'm gonna have to swap out for another controller like this one, because I really enjoy using this controller, and this one just for some reason just a little bit thicker or something around the handheld part where it's very difficult to do that and also grab the trigger. So that's one thing I don't like, but that's how I can tell it's an older model. He did tell me he basically put a newer body on it, so he put an orange body, which I was looking for an orange body one to begin with. And since this orange body is in such good shape, it's basically brand new. Another thing that tells me that this body didn't come with it, aside from it looking brand new, the orange body color I think is like a new release. And I really had my eye on the orange and black because it looks super cool. But the other tell is that the orange ones, I believe, the new ones that come with this body, I believe either have black or orange stub axles. So I can't remember if they're black or if they're orange. But it goes with the theme of that body. I know they wouldn't have blue. So this one has blue, so who knows what color body this came with originally. Could have come with a blue, could have come with the old school red and gray and black, I don't know. But and looking at the pictures, when I bought it online, everything looked pretty clean underneath. So like I said, it is used, but it looks like it's been pretty well taken care of. It does have the Traxxas chassis brace or chassis stiffener in the back, which I also have on my Summit. It did have one issue. The one issue was one of the servos is out. So I believe it's the one for locking, I think it's for locking one of the diffs. But I could do it manually and it would still lock and unlock the diffs. So one of the micro servos is out, which is no big deal. Oh, also it was missing the harness. So this harness goes right here that basically plugs into the receiver and runs the lights, was gone. So I bought another one, but the weird thing is, I plugged it in, got it all routed where it needs to go, got it into the receiver box, and it worked for like 1 second when I had it on. It worked for like, well, it worked for like 20 seconds. Then all of a sudden, it turned off. Not just, it turned the whole car off. So it kept on turning the car off, and the lights would not come on. So what I had to do was I had to unplug it, because it has a little jumper, like splitter in here, and for the first 20 seconds it worked. For some reason, after like 20 seconds, it just turned the RC off. Then I couldn't restart the RC. The RC would not start up. The ESC would just keep on turning off. Even when I was in the receiver box, I kept on plugging in the receiver. As soon as I plugged in, it'd turn off. So there's something going on. I don't know if it's drawing too much amps or drawing too much power or something for these lights or what, because they're like the stock lights on the bumper and the stock tail lights, but for some reason they're not working. So that kind of sucks. But otherwise, still has a stock 775 motor. Pretty sure it still has the stock gearing. That's a stock EVX2 ESC. It does look like it has some aftermarket servos, which these look like some cheaper, I don't even know what brand they are. They're 20 kilogram servos. They're metal geared, I'm sure, but I'm not sure if these are waterproof. So it has those. Everything with the axles looks stock. I'll flip it over. Whoops. So everything with the axles looks stock, and actually it looks pretty clean underneath. It doesn't really even look like it was used that much off-road. Like there's only like a few little scrapes and scuffs on it. So for something that's like probably at least 7-8 years old or older, because I think the Summit's been out since like 2010 or maybe even before that. Let me know in the comments if you know. It could have been out since like 2008 or something. The Summit's been out for a long time, I know. I could be totally wrong on my numbers. It is missing kind of the boots right here. I've kind of torn, but that's really no big deal because those don't stay on my Summit anyway. So even when you replace these little boots that go on the end of the, like on the steering hubs to cover up the pivot balls, they still get exposed anyway, so you can get grit and crap up in there, but everything seems to work good, and that's why I decided to buy it. So for $430, at first, like I said, that sounds like a bad deal, or not a good deal, but when you consider this one's in really good condition, it has a few upgrades, the biggest upgrade being the wheels and tires. And rollers, I was looking online, rollers go for just like $250 just for a roller that's in decent shape like this. So to get a used one like this for $430 that already has these $180 wheels and tires equipped, so that's basically like if I would have bought a brand new one for $470, then go add another $180 on that to get this wheels and tires, which is the main reason why I bought this. So what's that? $470, $570, we're talking I'm pushing $700 by the time I actually add these wheels and tires. I didn't want to spend that much. And also another good reason to buy a used machine, you don't feel as bad using it because you know it's already been used. As long as it's been taken care of, which I believe this one has, all the bearings, everything spins smoothly. So as long as it's taken care of, I don't really mind buying something used. And like I said, it looks like it wasn't used that often anyway. Mine has probably gotten more use out of it. Mine, I'm sure, has more scuffs and scrapes underneath of the skid plate and everything. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to testing this out, guys. This is definitely going to be much more of my designated crawler, since it is still brushed. And not to mention, I still have extra parts. So if I break a drive shaft, I still have 3 of those drive shafts from this one when I upgrade it that I could put on this. So I also have a stock, I think I have a stock 775 sitting at home, so if I burn this one up, I think I can replace that. So I have some extra stock parts. I have some extra stock arms because I upgraded those ones to RPM. So there's a bunch of stuff that I've upgraded on this that I now have like stock parts sitting around. So it kind of makes sense to get another Summit because, I mean, even if I break the parts on this, I can just swap them out for the ones that I got with this one. But yeah, the only thing I'm not the hugest fan of is that controller, and I didn't know until I got it how it would feel. And it's just, I don't know, it's too wide around the, right here where my hand goes, too wide where I can get my finger on it, my thumb barely, but then it's very difficult to do the trigger. Like, it's hard to do both at once. I like the feel of this one so much more. So I can easily do it. I can easily do, well, I can, not easily, but I can do the throttle, I can do the brakes, I can do the reverse. I like the feel of this one. That's the only issue. And that's not going to be an issue for most people, but since I film my videos and I'm always using one hand with the camera, I have to be able to steer it one-handed. So that could pose a problem, which is something I just didn't know. Until I got the RC, I didn't know the controller would really feel any different. I knew it looked different. But we'll just have to go from here and see how it works with me trying to film using this camera. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you guys the newest RC to my collection. You're going to definitely see some running videos on this. This is probably definitely going to be the RC that I'm going to try the screws in the tires. So the self-tapping screws in the tires. Now, of course, I'm not going to do it on these tires. I'm not going to do it on these Super Swamper tires. But I do want to do the screws in the tires and then test out how well it crawls. So the self-tapping screws. And it makes more sense to do it with this one than this one, because this one kind of lost some of its crawlability. Also, I'll put this one down on the floor and just show you the difference in size of tires. These 40 series Super Swampers are huge. They're way bigger than the ones that I currently have on this Summit. And the ones on this Summit, I'm not even a particular big fan of. So let me move everything back. I mean, they're pretty decent. They're probably half an inch taller tire than the ones on it. They don't look like they're any wider, but they're definitely taller. And I'm not a big fan of these tires that came on this Summit, because these are the upgraded Proline Rock Rage ones, but I've noticed they don't do that good on rock, at least not around here, where there's moss and the rock's slippery. It doesn't seem to ever grip up, so I'm not that impressed with these. And now that I've gone brushless, these balloon up way too much anyway, where I probably have to get some belted tires for this thing. But yeah, I really like these tires, and like I said, this one's super clean. Like, here's mine underneath. I mean, mine's still in good shape underneath, but mine's actually scraped up probably a little bit more than this one that I got. So, yeah, it definitely is. I think this one, in a lot of ways, looks like it's kind of in better shape than mine. It does have, these are torn right here, the little boots. So all the boots, but boots wear out and they get old. So the boots that are kind of on the drive shafts, where it telescopes, the telescopic part, those have ripped off, but that's not a big deal because I don't care. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you guys in another video. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed. And take it easy, guys.